Hey guys, Phoenix here, and so my recording didn't record my sound voice, so I'm doing some post-recording. And starting off this video, I went back to the level that we missed and accidentally summoned Goopy. But I went back to this level and retrieved Pitch, and you need the broom ability for this because he turns into a bucket of water, which is actually needed for the mission. Let me get my notes up here and call it good. Alright. But when you go through these doors, you will notice that there's small little sprouts. You're actually going to want to use the bucket of water on these. And Pitch is the only one that can do this with the broom ability, and there you got the Kamaribana. I hope I got that name right. But you want to water these, and there's 6 of them in total, each within these underwater doors. Not that hard to find, really. Actually, I make it seem like it's such a hassle to find when actually they're literally right in front, so turn it sound like a dick. But yeah, each one has one more than the last, and you just want to grow them. However, be careful because you can step on them, and if you do that, it will ruin the mission. And I really rushed through these levels, and that's what pretty much got me damaged all the time. Didn't learn, and I just kept doing it. And here are the last 3. So, get the second and get the third. There you go, the mission's complete so long as you don't step on them. Because yes, if you step on them even after you hear the jingle, it will make the mission fail. Excuse me. So I guess, while I'm talking about it, I didn't even start. Since I mentioned how we're just dashing through these levels, I feel I should talk about how I'm going to be recording things. I plan to keep doing Kirby until it's finished throughout most of the week. I'm doing the Monday Humongous thing, where I want to play a Humongous game in parts on Mondays. And then Friday, I'm considering doing something that I'm not even going to mention yet, because, again, I'm thinking about it. But yeah, with the level here, and for some reason, I have not been aiming whenever I do these, because I could be going for 1-ups and maximum tomatoes and everything, and yet I don't. Oh, and that middle guy, the umbrella, his name is Bakasa, and the eel is called El Eel. And this level, it's not the most underwater-centric level. Also, this is what Pitch's boomerang ability is he's a bit of a faster boomerang than I'd say Rick's, which is why I prefer it. Also, you may notice Pitch probably gets his name from the fact that most of his abilities involve him getting pitched. It's a terrible joke, but it's the truth. But yeah, if you're clever, you can just leave him floating around and oh goody. These guys you're going to want to kill if you can reach, because otherwise they're just going to drop on down like thwomps, except they're going to try and eat at you instead of squish. It's a bit of a pain, and I went with Kine. I almost mispronounced his name again. I went with Kine with this because, well, considering most of these are water levels, he's kind of effective. Also, his boomerang ability is not the best, but it's pretty good. It's mainly a disintegrating boomerang beam cannon thing. Details. Also, I like how the sharks in this game are called Joe, if I'm not wrong. It sounds so average compared to the other enemy names, but maybe that's the joke. I don't know. Excuse me. But yeah, Kine is really useful for going through these underwater, and here's our minigame for the 3rd level. Basically, you're just wanting to follow where he goes. So But the basic thing of this, you want to see where he ends. And as it progresses, he won't show as much of himself. And it'll also go by faster. Sorry for the yawning. I had just woken up not that long ago, and basically my sleep pattern is messed up beyond belief. To the point where I'm passing out in the middle of noon and not waking up until late at night. It's a bother. It's a real bother. So I'm trying my best to get back on a normal sleep schedule, and it's really hard. Go figure. But this level has a scrolling segment, and well, I learned something within this level, and that's the fact that Kind's abilities, he's the only one that can use them. So I thought. Later on in the video, I learned that there's some abilities Kirby can use underwater that I never knew. It's yawning! Ugh, people are gonna hate watching this video because once they see it, they're gonna start yawning too. And here's the end of the level, and there's little Eel. Since we helped him out, he gives us a star heart. Still have yet to learn the name of those. And even more proof that I'm not aiming. Alright, the next one we're gonna help is Gale. This is probably my favorite level of this area because you get to see for the first time these ability skeletons. Where basically they'll try to stab at you with a different weapon and each has its own ability. I decided to go with the spike one here because I just find it humorous. Because it looks like Kind doesn't have a spike ability, instead it's just Kirby using his ability while inside of Kind. Which I tried to show off there, but the pillars didn't do something. There you go. And I guess another reason, honestly, I like the way this area looks. I love the pillars, the marble look to it. I like it. So in this room, you would have gotten Kind, and I'm sticking with him because underwater levels. Now this area, you might get puzzled on and have to do the mission because they hide it pretty well. And these doors are going to be decoys. These guys might appear in later levels, so you gotta keep your eyes out. Also want to time it so you don't end up getting hit by the cannonballs. And the grayed out ones are the obvious doors. But, going on a little further, if you look real close to the background, you'll see some disorganized specks, which lead you to a secret room, giving you a few stars and a maximum tomato. You're going to want to remember this. Now we continue through the door. And I honestly thought there was another character within this level, but might be another level I'm thinking of. I swear this character was here. So it's another scrolling segment, but this one, since you're going vertical, I can't stop yelling! Since this one's going vertical, it's a little more easier. For some reason, I go to the wrong sides where I can get stuck. But here's another hidden door. And with these sort of things... Oh, yeah, I forgot. There's a lot of stars when you go on this route. So you're going to want to pick those up if you're low on lives. And mini-boss battle. I think this guy's name is Captain Stitches or something. I remember he's one of my least favorite mini-bosses because if he doesn't have... if he has his spikes on, you cannot damage him. So you have to wait for the spikes to come off to even hurt him. Also, a fun little thing to notice is that the waterfalls will push you down. But this... the battle's not hard if you can time right. And not only that, if you don't have time, because kind makes this a little bit tricky, considering he can't float, so you have to just jump. I try to suck those in, but with those you have to wait for them to hit the wall and bunch up before you can eat them, like that. And one more hit will finish this guy off. There we go. And yeah, even his body will hurt you. And we'll take the spike ability back. You're going to want to eat them. Because you need it to get Little Gamugal. So the main thing with these mini-boss fights is after you beat them, you're going to want to eat them and take their ability because more than likely you're going to need it. The only exception I can think of is the first level. Not level, but area, but it's hard to explain. Yeah, we got what we needed, so we just gotta get to the end. And like I said, I try to rush and I try to jump poorly. But the end should be there if I'm not mistaken. And that's another thing I need to stop doing to say, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably mistaken! There's the end of the level. And a little Gamugal and Gamugal are happy together. I like the little Gamugal, it's so cute. I think I kinda talked about that a little much when I did the regular recording. And again, my lack of aim proves formidable. Alright, the next one we're gonna help is Pitch's mom. Go figure, we're close to Mother's Day. So this one is a kind-friendly level. Because you're going to be underwater most of the time. And sorry if you hear that, our heater just turned on. So that might be a little annoying. So, once again I rushed through this, but this one I kinda had help with the currents. And Joe will just eat at you if you get near him without hurting him. So this would be the area where you would get kind. And we are going to see it once again within this video because I screw up midway. I am at such low health that I didn't think of finding anything else for it. Also, those bats, do not try to suck them in. They will eat at you, and you'll just get damaged. I like that. It's different. But yeah, it takes me forever to realize that I screwed up. And yet, at the same time, I didn't really screw up. Because you don't... You do need kind. You actually do need kind for this, because later on... I swear I will stop yawning sooner or later. I'm just a little tired. But yeah, this is where I clue in. So we restart the level and make sure we get kind this time. And since this is so close to the beginning of the level, I figured it wasn't a big hassle. I think it's the music that might be making me yawn, because I like the music. I could fall asleep to it, and I think it's proven to be the case. Anyway, let's pick up our fishy buddy. Pick up our fishy buddy. There you go. And carry on. So once again, you rush against the current, and you just... I probably should have checked what was on the other side now that I think about it. But anywho, the reason you need kind is, one, his fire ability is able to go through walls, so it makes it very easier to shoot through this wall. But you also need the rock ability, which, as we will see when we get up here, you can only get as Kirby because kind can't fit through that little gap. But you need the rock ability so you can make a bigger gap for him to get through. And once again, I have a hassle getting it for some reason. But sooner or later, there you go. Besides the yawning, I even get heartburn. So for some reason, I just decided to skip the wall and get kind first. I guess you could do it either way, but I think it'd be faster if you just destroyed the wall and then press the right button to use his ability. And kind is through. So you're going to need kind because he can swim through currents underwater. Sorry about that. For some reason my sound recording didn't record all of that post-recording. Yeah, kind of funny how that works. So, I might sound a little unenthused for the rest of this video, but that is because I'm getting a little tired of recording this. And I'm definitely going to be taking a little break after this is recorded. A little one, maybe a day. But, anyway, you're going to need time to swim against this current. Go through the door. And get pitch. Like I said, I am a little unenthused right now because recording this 3 times over is a bit of a pain. To the point where I have no idea what I want to say. I kind of said it all in the past videos and I can't think of anything else to add. I don't know what to add. All I know is that every time I see this, I have no idea what happened, because I screwed up and for some reason kept using Pitch's stone ability, even though that meant I had to go lower than where I was. So yeah, for some reason, my sound recording, it has been acting weird, to the point where sometimes it won't even start up, and to the other points where it'll just, like, crash at random. I have no idea what the problem with it is. All I know is that it happens so often to where I'm going to want to see what the problem is. Because otherwise it's going to make recording everything else a little tricky. Ugh, but I still haven't stopped yawning. Yay. Give a good stretch. There we go. Okay. So yeah, this area, if you don't have pitch, I think you can just fast press the swim button to get all the way up. I do remember being happy that I was finally on land, only to see it collapse right below me. So, probably the best thing to do when you have pitch is either get an ability where you're pretty much invincible to most attacks, or just fly across the level to the end, because this is the last screen of the level. But there it is, there's your exit for the level. And there's Pitch's mom, and as in my ways, I just leave Pitch there, because it just seems right. And my lack of aim proves obvious, as we continue on to the last level of the video. Thankfully, the sound recording made it to this far, because this isn't a long level. But here, we are going to help, I hope I can remember the name, HB002. I don't know if this is a reference to another game that we never got, because there are a few references like that, where it's a Japan-only thing, but it was still referenced in the American version. So I'm going to take Pitch again, because as much as I like Rick's rock power and not his regular skill, and how I like Nago's triple jump, I just like Pitch. He's my second favorite animal friend in this game. Actually, I think him and Koo, it's kind of a debate on which one is my favorite. Because, gee, is it obvious I like birds? And I don't know if I mentioned this in the earlier pre-recording, but I have made kind of a schedule of what I'm planning to do video-wise. And the main thing is, I want to finish this first. But Mondays, I plan to do the humongous games, maybe another day with it. Also, while I'm saying this, the area here, you want to follow a specific path, otherwise you're just going to be led to that weird, creepy area in the back. And the path goes up, middle, second, or up, down, second, top. Yeah, I don't know if it was mentioned, but, I plan to do the humongous games every Monday, and maybe another day. We will see it. And also, during the middle week, I plan to keep doing Kirby until it's done. Then maybe move on to something else. And Friday, I might be putting in something, well, I'm just going to leave it at that. But right here is when you're going to see what you have to do for the mission. This pattern is something you're going to want to memorize, and I go out and come back in because I want to memorize the number. And it goes 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. A very simple pattern. And you're going to want to probably ditch your power and go to this area, and you're going to want to remake the shape. The reason it's best to ditch your power is because you want to be accurate on this, and for some reason there was an invisible bubble that popped the bottom area. But you're going to want to match that shape, and the bubble is the best way to do it accurately. So you just want to slowly and take your time, be accurate with making the shape. Because once you do, you will have beaten the mission. And why you have to do... Again, it must be a reference to something. I have no clue. But yeah, back there, we finished the mission, so all we gotta do now is make it to the end. And I love these things because they're basically just like exploding bubble wrap. However, I don't pop the last one for some reason. I just ran by it. But this area is absolute chaos. You got Ruffs coming at you from sideways, those propeller teardrops coming at you from below, and the umbrella guys coming at you from above. I decided to take one of the umbrella guys and make golf club pitch. And I think it's kind of useful. Also, oh wait, that might have referenced. We're going to talk about that. I don't know. We're almost at the end of the level. All we gotta do is make it past the exploding coconuts. And make it past this guy, and like I said, chaos. But there you go. There's HB002, and he's glad we helped him out. And I always thought this guy looked like one of those toddler foam puzzle pieces. I don't know. I still kind of see it. Anyway, let's take the heart star. Anytime now. There you go. And my luck of aim improves. And I think that about sums up the video here today. And in the next Kirby's Dreamland 3 video, we will go and take on Acro, the boss of the area. See you guys then.